What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Hope you're having a good weekend. Hope you're able to see the Batman. If not, hope you're able to see it sometime soon because I'm definitely eager to share my thoughts. At the time of making this video, I saw it last night. Yesterday. Um, so I wanted to give my thoughts. I don't think there's really a whole lot to spoil about this movie in general. I like leading up to it, I was kind of staying off Twitter a little bit because showings were starting very early in the week and I didn't want to get spoiled. But then I kind of started thinking about it. It's like, well, I don't really know what would be like major spoilers for this movie. So I don't really think there's anything to like necessarily ruin about, giving my thoughts on the movie. There's no major like spoilers in my opinion. But overall, it was a lot of things that I expected from the movie, such as like the tone, um, just kind of what to expect from the overall where they were going with this movie. So it's definitely, like a lot of people have been saying, it's very much a detective style Batman movie, which, a lot of people have pointed out. We haven't really had much of that in previous Batman movies. There was Ben Affleck's version of Batman in BVS specifically did show that side of Bruce Wayne, but it wasn't like a whole movie dedicated to Bruce Wayne / Batman being a detective. And this movie is very much dedicated to that side of Batman, which is really cool to see. It is dark. It's a dark movie, not just like tone wise, but like the movie is actually dark. So it's just kind of funny because a lot of the complaints about BVS are actually what this movie is, and so it's just interesting. But I'm just gonna put that out there. It is a beautiful movie. I think Matt Reeves did a great job. Robert Pattinson, I think, did a really good job as Batwayne, Batman and Bruce Wayne. Zoe Kravitz was great as Catwoman. I think everyone really did a good job in their role. Jeffrey Wright as, Gordon. Colin Farrell as Penguin, who I'm still not convinced is Colin Farrell under there. Even after watching the movie, it's shocking that that's Colin Farrell. He did an amazing job too. I mean, everyone really did a good job in their roles. So I think performance-wise, like across the board, great. What's his name? Dano. What's his first name? Paul. Dano, the guy who plays Riddler. Great as a Riddler was great. Like as a villain in general, he was very like the creepy kind of villain, like weirdo type of villain. Really good. So overall, great movie. It definitely takes its time. It is close to a 3-hour runtime. It really takes its time. It doesn't rush into anything. Even physically, like the movements are slow. The way kind of Robert Pattinson like walks and does like these different, just when he's walking or when he's not in like an action fighting sequence, he moves slow. So it has like a really, that sounds strange if you haven't seen the movie, but if you've seen the movie, then you probably know what I'm talking about. It has like kind of, I guess what you would think of like in horror movies or like thriller movies. A lot of the things are like kind of slow and eerie and they give you like a suspense type of effect. There's a lot of that in this movie. Catwoman's backstory is pretty dark as well. So there's a lot of dark elements to this movie. I really feel like, not in a bad way, because I don't mind that. And it's what I expected ever since like the first, teaser or trailer that we got at DC Fandom. It's really what I expected from this movie. And what I would also kind of picture having cast Robert Pattinson, I picture him taking on that kind of approach. Batman's a dark character anyway. So there is definitely a thriller horror movie side to this. It's raining a lot. It takes place like 90% of it at nighttime. And when it's not nighttime, it's like early morning, kind of like this picture here. It's like the dusk or dawn type of, it's not, it's dark. It's a dark movie. One of my favorite things about this movie and what was really different from the other Batman movies that we've seen is that Batman is like really working together with Jim Gordon. And of course we know, okay, like, yes, they do work together and they consult each other. in general. But he's really like they're pretty much like almost partners in this movie. And another thing that's different about it is like seeing Batman on crime scene, like on crime scenes with GCPD there. Um, and obviously, Gordon is the only one who kind of is like supportive or like, approves of Batman being there. The other guys are kind of like staring at him, like, what is he doing here? And the chief is like, he shouldn't be here. Like, it is very different in that sense. Like, he really is being like a detective with Gordon, and I really like the bond and the trust that they have with each other in this movie. That was really cool to see their relationship that they have in this movie. And they mentioned a few times that, well, I think we heard about it before the movie came out too, that this Batman is like not necessarily a novice and he's not necessarily super experienced. He's like, it's been about 2 years since he took on this role of a vigilante in Gotham. And him and Gordon have been like working together since he became Batman, because Gordon mentioned something about it's been 2 years and he still doesn't know who he is. So they have had some time together to create this relationship. So it's pretty cool to see that in this movie. Also, the dynamic between Catwoman and Batman, I enjoyed. Even like one of the moments that really stood out to me was just their first encounter. Like when he first sees her when they see each other for the first time, is pretty cool. That moment stuck with me. I really liked it. It was intense. Their The tension between them, because obviously there's like this kind of romantic tension between them, but then at the same time they're not always on the same page as far as what they're trying to accomplish. And I liked the dynamic between that. Zoe Kravitz really held her own in the role. I thought she was a great choice. I liked that they picked her from the beginning, but you know, seeing them on screen together, I liked the dynamic between them. They're just overall, the action, the fight sequences was great. I love the score, which was another thing that stood out to me from the very beginning when they did the suit reveal with that red lighting on the suit. I love the score. So hands down, one of my favorite scores out of the DC films. Obviously, this movie is kind of on its own. It's not part of like the other DC movies that we've had so far. The broader universe. It's on its own. It's a separate universe. Um, but the score is amazing. I love it. And again, it plays into the kind of horror style that this movie has, because there are a lot of elements to the score that have what you're kind of used to hearing in like horror movies or thriller movies. So I have seen some people say that the third act was kind of on the weaker side. I didn't really have that feeling in the movie. I felt like it fit with the rest of the movie. Like it played out the way the movie had been going up until that point. Um, I don't know. I didn't really feel that way. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I guess if maybe there were specific reasons that people felt that way, then maybe I would have a better understanding of why people said that. But I thought overall it was a good movie. I mean, I didn't lose interest, even though it takes its time. I didn't lose interest. It kept me interested the whole time. Um, I'm looking forward to the next one. A few people have pointed out like some references or things that they would kind of like parallels. The way that Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne kind of narrates the movie is similar to, or kind of reminiscent of the way Rorschach narrates uh, Watchmen, including like a journal. So that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Even another thing that was different about this movie too is that Andy Serkis, who played Alfred, is not in the movie a whole lot. Um, he doesn't have like, we're used to seeing Batman slash Bruce work a lot with Alfred. We do see some of that, but it's really a lot more of Batman working with Gordon. I'm sure if we do get a two and or a three, you know, sequels, that we'll probably see more Alfred coming more into the picture and helping him more. But this one's really more a lot of Batman and Jim Gordon. Also, it's mostly like he's in the suit the majority of the movie. Like he's Batman the majority of the movie. It's you don't see a whole lot of just Bruce Wayne without the suit. Like it's a lot of just Batman. And so that was also another thing that was different, especially for it being like a pretty long movie. I wasn't expecting him to be in the suit that often. But overall, they did an amazing job on this movie. Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, everybody really, like I said, performance wise, did a great job. And like as far as cinematography and like the whole aesthetic of the movie, I also appreciated a lot. So, I mean, it was definitely enjoyable. I am looking forward to watching it again. Um, I do think that we got a glimpse or kind of a tease into who would be coming on into this Batman universe as far as another villain. Um, and I do think that spoiler alert. I don't know if it's a spoiler because I don't know if it's correct, but I do think Joker will be included in this Batman universe, and I think we got a glimpse, or tease of him towards the end of the film. Um, so that's what I would expect moving forward. If you watch the movie, let me know what you think. I do think that he'll be in this Batman universe if they continue with it. But overall, really enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of what I expected in a good way. So yeah, really like a great movie going experience for sure. I do think that this was. I could see it being a rated R movie. It's a hard PG-13, which is also what I expected. It seems kind of like maybe Matt Reeves wanted to do a rated R movie, but obviously studios kind of hold back on that. If sometimes, especially with these comic book movies, because they want to, it's less money if it's rated R, right? So, but I do see it in that rating more than a PG-13 movie. Just my opinion, but it was great, great, great Batman movie for sure. And then also just want to share this really quickly. More statistics and numbers are coming out from movies that were on streaming last year, 2021, and this, according to this, Zack Snyder's Justice League was the fourth overall streaming movie for last year, and this includes other platforms such as Netflix, Disney Plus. I mean, all the major streaming platforms. So Zack Snyder's Justice League was number 4, which is awesome to see. And for audience engagement, it was number 1 as far as top HBO Max 2021 original releases. And including other streaming platforms, it was number 4 for audience engagement. So, of course we have on there Spider-Man No Way Home, Dune, Shang-Chi, some of the bigger, all the big titles that came out last year. So not that Warner Brothers is directly, sharing these numbers, but Diesel Labs, yes, Diesel Labs, an intelligence company, is putting these things out there. So it's just nice to see, since we never got anything directly from Warner Brothers about the engagement or, really anything about that. Yes, we kind of, obviously we assumed that it was a huge success because it was not a stretch of the imagination, but it's just nice to see especially against other things that were, like again, big releases last year for Warner Brothers and Disney Plus and Netflix, all the big things that we all were, everyone's talking about and trending and all of these things. It's nice to see that. And like Ray Fisher said, not bad for a movie that didn't exist. So just always nice, always cool and positive to see recognition being paid to Zack Snyder's Justice League from outside parties, even if it's not coming directly from Warner Brothers, because at least, it's being put out there so they can't say it wasn't a success. So I just wanted to share that. But if you saw the Batman, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the links in the description, other videos you may have missed. And thank you guys for the support on the channel. Leave a thumbs up and or subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon.